This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome, all my feline friends. This is Michelle Fern, host of Cattitude, and we're going to talk about something near and dear to your fur baby's heart, grooming. Your cat loves grooming, but you should too. We'll be right back after this message.
Tired of wasting money on giant bags, boxes, and jugs of litter that don't last? Switch to World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter that lets you use less and get more. World's Best Cat Litter uses the concentrated power of corn to deliver outstanding odor control and easy cleanup. It's lightweight, 99% dust-free, and pet, people, and planet friendly. It's even flushable. Make the switch to World's Best Cat Litter and save $2. Visit www.saveonworldsbest.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I have a special guest that's going to really educate us on some tips for cat grooming. So I'm so excited. I'd like to welcome Adrienne Kawamura. She's the founder of City Kitty franchise and the owner of City Kitty. Did I get that right?
The opposite.
Okay.
The founder of City Kitty and the owner of City Kitty franchise.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. So tell everyone, what is City Kitty?
So City Kitty is a full-service grooming salon for cats. That's all we do are cats. We have over 2,700 clients at our corporate location. I started in 2000 with a handful of cats, and it has built up since then. Our mission statement is caring for the whole cat, mind, body, and spirit. So we serve as a resource for behavior, palliative hospice care, diet, different things that would just make the cat healthier and happier.
You know, that's a great idea because, you don't realize that cats need grooming other than just what they can do them on their own. And a lot of places,
Absolutely.
Right? And a lot of places, either the groomers don't do cats at all, or they have to put them to sleep or semi-sleep. So the costs are crazy. So instead of, maybe, I don't know what dogs run, like maybe 60 to 70, 80 bucks, it goes into the, over 100 just for a simple cut and nail trim or something like that. So you don't want to have to think about putting your cat under, even if it's just like a twilight sleep so the cat's more mellow so they can groom. I don't know. I don't like that idea unless it's necessary for medical reasons.
Right. And you're definitely taking a risk when you put them under anesthesia for a simple grooming. That would be like you going and getting a manicure or pedicure and being put to sleep for it. If a cat is presented in the right environment and they're very sensitive to their environment, for instance, we use aromatherapy, flower essences, very quiet music, and of course we don't have barking dogs. So they respond very positively to that.
I like that you use a lot of different things. And, it's interesting how much my, fur kids love, whether it's dogs or cats. They are so in tune with music. When I leave and I have 3 cats and 2 dogs on my crew and they come home with me. So many times when I leave, I put on jazz. They like jazz or classical, and they're all come around where the music is in the same room and just chill.
Yes.
It's funny. So not even classic rock. That'd probably get them too hyped up. So, but so let's get back to the City Kitty. It sounds like something, I don't want to take my cat. I'll go myself. It sounds like a very nice experience for your cat.
It is. Yeah. It's like a spa for cats.
Okay. Now, City Kitty you have franchises, but you have how many locations now?
Well, I just sold my corporate office because we just started franchising last year. And although the business has been there for 18 years, I did sell the corporate salon to a couple that has never groomed before. And, of course, there's a learning curve, and I provided all the training for them, and they are doing fantastic.
Oh, that's good to hear. So what I also want to do, because not everyone is, and your City Kitty location is where?
It's in Edmonds, Washington, which is about 8 miles north of downtown Seattle.
Though I would love to be there, unfortunately, I'm across the country, and many of our listeners are all over the world. So what we're going to do is ask you to share some tips with us for, one, when you take your cat, or for people that, aren't anywhere near your City Kitty location, what are some tips in looking for a place to take your cat? And then I want to ask you the best way, which is something all cat owners know and don't really like to do, but should, to trim your cat's nails. We'll be right back after this break.
It's the Cats of Laughing Thunder in The New Businesses Adventure. Follow the hilarious adventures of the cartoon cats of Laughing Thunder as they each launch a business to earn money. Sven starts a cooking show with dishes that are a bit bizarre.
Yolanda builds a robot
with serious issues. Fritz buys a blimp to film weather videos. Pumpkin publishes a how-to-be unmannerly website, but they face many troubles along the way. From silly adults to stupid teens, from unruly robots to wild weather. Will they succeed? Find out in this awesome illustrated children's fiction book featuring the Cats of Laughing Thunder in The New Businesses Adventure. You can purchase their latest adventure book at shop.laughingthunder.com. That's shop.laughingthunder.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's Talk Pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. So what should we look for? Say I want to have my cat, especially Dennis. He's Maine Coon. He has all this fur all over the place. I live in a warm area, and I want to get him trimmed for the summer. What should I look for, since I can't fly to City Kitty, and I could, but, it'd be a very expensive cut since it's across the country. And then for people that can't, what should we look for when looking for a place to have our cat groomed?
Well, there's a couple of websites you can look at to see if there's a certified master groomer for cats in your area, and that is Professional Cat Groomers Association of America, as well as National Cat Groomers Institute of America. And they have a list of groomers in their area that would, maybe be of service to you. However, this is a fairly new field. And up until this point, because when I started City Kitty in 2000, there were no other cat grooming salons in the nation. This was the first one. So it is still hard in some areas. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to franchise, because I'm passionate about taking care of cats, and it's a much needed service in almost every area of the country. But you can Google those two websites and maybe find a groomer in your area. And there are some groomers that, aren't certified, but certainly qualified, that maybe just do a few cats out of their home. You can check with your veterinarians, too, to see if they know of anyone as a resource.
And when we're maybe talking to the groomer or going to visit the grooming place, what are some key things to look out for as well? Like, as far as, yes, this is, a good thing, and nope, take your cat and run out the door kind of a thing.
Well, you certainly want to look for credentials of the groomer and find out exactly who's doing the groomer. You want to check the environment for disinfecting methods. Are they really disinfecting everything between cats? Although the cats are within fairly close proximity of each other, you don't want them put together. I'm just a firm believer that credentials matter. I think if you're really passionate about what you're doing, you'll invest in your career and get those credentials. So, I was in the very first class of National Cat Groomers Institute of America, got a master groomer certification from them, and then I got a master groomer certification, and I'm a certifier for Professional Cat Groomers Association of America. And I think, it's like with anything, if you're passionate about what you're doing, you'll want to learn more. So I think someone that invests back into their career is important.
Okay, that's great news. And then what are some things that if we see going on at the cat groomer is just time to bolt?
Well, I think trust your gut instinct. I think there's a big difference in salons when you go in there. You should look for a very quiet environment for your cat. You shouldn't walk in and they're playing loud music and there's a lot of commotion going on. It should be a serene environment. You will have more success grooming in that type of environment. You definitely want to look for cleanliness. You want to look for the professionalism of the staff. But do your homework and find out about who's exactly going to be working on your cat. We have an open door policy at our salon, especially for new clients. We want them to see everything that's going on. If they're immediately taking your cat and going in the back where you can't see what's going on, I think that's a red flag. I think really I encourage all new clients to stay with their cat for the first grooming session, because I want them to feel comfortable and I want them to see everything we're doing and the methods involved.
Great tips, but a very good point about trust your gut instinct. I remember like bazillion years ago, and this was actually with a dog, but it just shows you gut instinct. I was taking my dog to the groomer and I wasn't so sure, and when I picked up the dog, the groomer was complaining your dog went to snap at me, and I said, well, you cut the nails, right? Yes. I said, well, most dogs don't like their paws touched. You should have a muzzle on. So why are you telling me that my dog snapped at me? I mean, that to me, I never went back. That's just obvious, dogs. I've had dogs a little longer than cats, so I know we're going a little off subject here, but, it's just like saying your cat scratched me. If you're at the groomer, your cat scratched me. Well, it's obvious you should take preventative, measures and wear whatever those like long rubber gloves are or something like that, because, cats will scratch. That's,
Yep, absolutely. And it's mainly a defense mechanism. They don't have a voice to tell you this stresses me out. Certainly, the more they get groomed, even for dogs, because I've got friends that are dog groomers, the more they get groomed, the more mental conditioning they have to withstand the stress. And let's face it, cats are bonded to their territory. That's the most important thing in their lives. And when they're removed from their territory, whether it's a vet visit, whether it's a road trip or going to the groomer, that definitely causes stress. Now, how we manage stress is another issue. And that's why I love using flower essences and the aromatherapy. And there's a lot of handling methods, because a lot of people know how to groom, but they don't know how to handle a cat. And that definitely takes some training and some practice.
Yes, that is very true. Now we're going to be right back after this break, and we're going to tell you some tips on how to cut your cat's nails. We'll be right back.
When Helen Brown ran away to New York City 5 years ago, she had no idea that a homeless cat with a punk rock haircut and enough Cattitude to light up the Empire State Building would be the one to teach her the true meaning of love and a forever home. In the tradition of her internationally best-selling memoir, Cleo, Helen Brown's Bono, the amazing story of a rescue cat who inspired a community, is a heartwarming true story about a woman without an anchor, a homeless cat without much hope, and finding a forever home in the city that never sleeps. Modern Cat magazine calls Bono an uplifting tale about how everyone deserves love and a second chance. Bono by Helen Brown is on sale now everywhere.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. everyone. I'd like to introduce Adrienne. If you've been listening all along, you know, but if not, she is the founder of City Kitty and the owner of City Kitty franchise. Welcome, Adrienne.
Thank you, Michelle.
So cats actually found me. I didn't find them. That's how you just end up, that one comes in your house, then you get another one, and that's how I got cats. That's exactly how. It started with Dennis walking in on a cold night, and then the other two and then there's two outside. It's a whole family thing. But one thing that I know that is important is cat's claws. It's very important.
Yes.
I know people have different mindsets with this, but I do not believe in declawing. I just don't believe in that.
No.
It's not like us trimming our nails when you take out their claw.
Exactly.
But we won't go.
It's considered mutilation.
Exactly. So, and I've had my share of scratches, believe me, because like you said, when they're scratching, they're kind of saying, hey, don't mess with me. And
right.
I have two female cats, and one is she's a diva for sure. But let's talk about, how do you cut your cat's nails? What is the best way to do this?
Well, I think having the right equipment is good. There are some little tiny, they're called claw clippers, and they're specifically for cats and birds. So I would definitely use those versus some of the bigger dog clippers that are like the guillotine style or the scissor style. So let's talk about the handling of the cat, because let's face it, cutting the nail is easy, but it's handling the cat to be able to do that. So one of the things you can do at home, if you're just by yourself, is wrap your cat in a towel and just put one paw out at a time. And then on that little tendon on the top of their foot, I call it pushing the button. You push that, and then the nail just pops out so that you can see it better and it gets away from the hair. And then you want to cut vertically versus horizontally, because when you cut horizontally, you're smashing the nail and it shatters and causes hangnails and the sheath to split. So cut up and down versus flat on the nail. And then it's always important to have some sort of styptic powder, whether it's like a quick stop or something like that, because inside the nail is a little vein called the quick. And the more you cut a cat's nail, the more that quick will recede, and the shorter nail you'll have on a cat. The less you cut a cat's nail, the longer that quick will grow out. And so it's constantly trying to grow out. You want to cut beyond the pink part that you see on the nail, which is the quick. So you want to cut right above that. Sometimes even when you do that, it will still bleed just a tiny bit because that quick is trying to grow out further, and that's how it feeds supplies to the nail to make the nail grow. So just get a little bit of that styptic powder. You can get that at almost any pet store, and it just takes practice. If you only do one paw a day and then give the cat a break, then, they'll eventually get used to it, and so will you. It's a little scary, maybe a little intimidating for people that aren't used to handling their cat. And also cats are very food motivated, most of them. So you could cut a nail and maybe put a little bit of, like baby food on your finger, or give the cat a little tiny treat like freeze-dried chicken or something like that. And then the cat starts to associate the grooming process with a positive experience.
Those are some great ideas. Now, I've heard you could also use nail clippers. What do you think about those, like people nail clippers?
They don't work as well, honestly, because some nails can get thicker, especially as a cat gets older. A cat's nail will get a lot thicker. So I would really stick with specific cat nail clippers.
Okay, and when you say horizontally, once you push the nail out, it should be just flat. You never want to go up and down, right?
No, you want to cut the nail up and down versus smashing the nail from the top. So you want to cut the nail vertically.
Wow, that's interesting.
I
wouldn't think that.
Yeah, right. And a lot of people will cut it smashed down, and it's okay, but the nail splinters. And then, if part of the sheath peels back, and then the cat's got a little hangnail, and it can catch on something and bleed. So the best way is to cut vertically.
Very interesting. I know for dogs, people have said you can use pepper as far as for stopping bleeding. Is that something you can use for cats or no?
Well, that's news to me. I've never heard that. That's very interesting.
I don't know if it's good for the cats or not.
Right, and it is a pretty strong smell, and cats' noses are 40 times greater than a human, so it might be a little bit strong to use on a cat. A couple other ideas for managing the cat while you're cutting the nails or cleaning the ears. There are cat thunder shirts out now, and that's sort of like a swaddling technique, and then you're sort of hands-free. Cats love to be swaddled. After we bathe them, we swaddle them in a towel wrapping technique real tight, and they just love it. And it's one of the methods they use for people with autism or kids with autism is a swaddling technique. And I'm sure you've heard of Temple Grandin. She's a person that's had extreme autism and works for the Department of Agriculture, creating humane slaughtering techniques. And she definitely believes in the swaddling technique and backs that up. Another tool you can get is called a happy hoodie, and get a size small for a cat. You can order those online. They love to have their head sort of covered, the ears covered, where they can just see out, and then they kind of feel like they're hiding. So that's another couple other things you could try too. Because like I said, it doesn't take rocket science to be a groomer. It takes skills and education just like any other career. It's the handling of the cat.
Now, what if you start cutting? These are great tips, by the way. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What if you start, you have your cat in a towel swaddled and you have the paw out and you're cutting and you have almost one paw done and your cat's decided, I'm done with this, and gets squirmy and all of that. Is there any way to put them back in the mode, or are you done for the day and try again, or what?
Well, depending on how much experience the cat has had grooming, that might be the end of it for that day. What I like to refer to working with cats is a calm assertiveness. You don't let a toddler run the show. So you just carry on. It's a job. Yes, this has to be done. You talk to the cat to try to ease their stress or their fear of what is about to happen. And like I said, the more you work on your own cat, and I'm not saying try and go home and shave your cat or anything, but I think everyone should have the basic skills of good dental care for their cat, cleaning the ears, and cutting the nails. And those are three very important things to do. But it takes practice. So if the cat wiggles a little bit, should you let them go? No, not really, because then, you're teaching them that this is what you have to do to get away from me. And then next time it will just be worse. So just keep encouraging the cat, and it's what we do in the salon. We don't say no or anything like that because they don't get that, but we just encourage them. You're doing a great job. Sometimes we get a new cat in, we cut one nail, and then we sit for a second, we pet their head and tell them how brave they are, they're doing great, and then we do another one. And that's all mental conditioning.
Such great ideas. I'm ready to go get some great cat nail clippers, and maybe, I don't know which one. Dennis would be the easiest and Molly would be the most difficult. And go ahead and attack the nails.
Yes.
I know you also have a great website. Where can people find out some more about City Kitty and about you and all of that?
Okay, well, the website is citykittygrooming.com. And we also have a Facebook page, which is City Kitty, or they can visit the franchise Facebook page, which is City Kitty Franchise. And there is on the website franchise information.
Okay, wonderful. Adrienne, thank you so much for coming on Cattitude and sharing all of your vast knowledge with us on how we can, know more about and know what to look for with a groomer for our cats and how to cut our cats' nails, which is I don't know, I'm kind of looking forward to it, which I've never had before. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
How interesting. What a great show. What great tips. Here I thought I was cutting my cat's nails okay, and turns out I was doing it all wrong. Great information. Okay, Dennis, Molly, and Charlotte, get your claws out. I'm coming for ya. I'd like to thank my crew, that's Dennis, Molly, and Charlotte, for letting me cut their nails, and this time it'll be the right way. Thanks to my guest, Adrienne Kawamura, for coming on and telling us all this great information on how we can better groom our cats and what to look for at a cat groomer, and great nail cutting tips. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound great. And huge thank you to all my feline friends on Cattitude. Thank you so much for listening. We have some more great shows coming up, so stay tuned.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.